a recipe for you to do over the weekend with your children. It is called sweetheart buns. It is something that is quite easy for little hands to knead and shape into fun shapes. Right, today I'll do a heart-shaped bun, but you can use your imagination when you do it with your kids. Alright, let's have a look at the ingredients. It's quite standard, nothing unusual that you need for this. I'll start with 100 grams of plain flour, 2 teaspoons of sugar, a quarter teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of instant yeast, 15 grams of butter that's softened, and 50 grams of water. It's just plain tap water that I'm using. Today I'll be topping my buns with some chicken ham and cheddar cheese. You will also need a little bit of extra flour to dust the tabletop if it gets sticky. Alright. Thank you, Ileana. That was very nice. Okay, so let's start mixing. First ingredient, flour. I'll put it inside. Sugar, salt. Salt. What is this? Instant yeast. Okay, it will make the buns rise. Now you can use your finger. That's fine. Okay, just wash your hands before the time. Okay, stir it a bit with the fork to mix all the dry ingredients evenly. And then I'll put in the water. And just continue to stir it a little bit. It will start to sort of clump together in bits and pieces. Butter. The butter is quite soft, so it's easier to blend into the dough. Okay, that looks quite good. Okay, that is nice. Okay, it's mostly mixed in clumps. Next step will be to actually knead it by hand, so I'm going to take it away. Okay, remove the fork from the bowl and check that the table is really nice and clean. Right, and then I will use my fingertips. This is a little bit difficult, so maybe the parents who's doing this can do this bit. Okay, pick all the bits and pieces up from your bowl by moving it around. It's almost like washing the bowl. Okay, you want to get all the bits and pieces together, so that you have basically a bowl of dough. Okay, once it's this bowl of dough, we can get the kids to knead it. Okay, so the kneading technique for this is just a rolling technique. You're going to roll it. Those of you who saw the pizza making, this is the same. Okay, you're going to roll it until it's longer or wider than your hand. Fold it in half and then roll it again. So you have to put enough pressure to actually get it longer. I will take half. Do you want to take half? Let's take half and half. Okay. So if it's not getting any longer, it means that you are not putting enough pressure on the dough. Okay, if it's longer, you can fold it in half and roll again. Continue to fold it in half. Okay, we'll have to do this for a few minutes. If your dough feels sticky, it's sticking to the table or to your hands, you can dust a little bit of flour on your hands or on the dough onto the tabletop. I'm going to try to make a longer sausage. And when we roll it with our hands, the heat of your hands will also help to activate the yeast. Okay, so the rolling it around helps to heat up the dough a little bit. Okay, let's get Iriana to make hers a bit longer. You can bring out your measuring tape and then let them measure, practice their math skill. Alright? So we're going to divide this into 6 buns. 6 will be, each piece will be divided into 3. So you can use, if you use the measuring tape, you can measure and then divide the dough. Alright, you want to divide this one? What we will do is to roll it into little balls. I have a tray and I'm gonna just put it on. And then it will be covered up. I have one set here that I've done earlier, so you need to rest the dough for about half an hour. In the half an hour, what will happen is that they will actually rise. Okay, so for the next step of the shaping, and this is quite fun. Let's get a baking tray. And we will take the dough. I'll show you one piece first. Okay, take the dough from your tray. Turn it over on the table and you flatten it with your fingers, and then we're going to roll it up into a little sausage and just roll it up like this. Okay, the process why we are doing this shaping method is because the yeast will be producing gas in pockets, so by shaping it we actually redistribute the gas throughout the bun. Okay, roll it into a little long shape like this. Get a cutter or a knife and cut it along the, let me try like this. Cut it like this. So not all the way through to the end, okay, it will be like a wishbone shape, and then we will turn the top ends in to make a little heart shape. Alright, you want to try? So turn it over. I love that, it's so good. Oh, nice. We can sprinkle some ham and cheese on top. The buns now have to rise or proof for a second time. We will cover it and leave it out for about 15 minutes until it's double in size from the original shaping. Meanwhile, you can preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius and prepare the rack so that the buns will be placed in the center part of the oven. this looks nice and golden brown. You can check the bottom. I have to look at the bottom. Oh. So it's golden brown at the bottom. Oh, that's the sweetheart bun stuff. Alright, was that fun? Yes. Thank you, sweetheart. Alright guys, bye bye.